Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I've got a comment on Oscar De La Hoya because I really find his Clapback Thursday segments really amusing. And some of the stuff he says, well, we'll get into that in a moment. But Oscar, I've always thought he's a bit of a Fruit Loop, I remember, I'm old enough to remember when those photos of when he was an active fighter, poses of him wearing high heels and women's stockings and all that business. And at the time he denied they were real. Of course, we all knew they were real anyway. And this was before the internet took off and before Photoshop and anything. But we kind of like, those photos aren't doctored, Oscar. You were having a kinky little session with some bird and you got nicked. No problem. But, and he's admitted since then, and of course the drugs and the drink and the rehab, more than one occasion. But I've got to be honest, the Clapback Thursday things really do make me laugh. But some of the things you go, ooh, Oscar. And one of them concerns Eddie Hearn. Well, he said a lot about Eddie Hearn as a promoter. He thinks he's rubbish and, he constantly berates him, makes fun of him. But I wonder if he's gone a bit too far this time because he was talking about Eddie's post-fight behaviour for the Serrano-Taylor rematch when he was going mental in the ring and look at me, look at Katie won, we love Katie, right? He's over the top rope and giving it large. And then Nikita, I can't remember the guy's second name, the Most Valuable Promotions CEO, Nikita, what's his name? I can't remember his name. It slipped my mind. Put it in the comments, correct me. He was saying, well, you would think Eddie would be talking about the third fight with Serrano and Taylor, but instead he was apparently, according to Nikita, positioning Sky Nicholson as maybe an opponent for Serrano instead of the third fight with Katie Taylor. Now, Oscar jumped on this. And he was like, why are you doing this, Eddie? I think I know the answer. It's because you and Sky are romantically linked. We know what that means, don't we? A bit of Humpty Dumpty. Well, bear in mind that Eddie is a married man. When he sees his wife, I have no idea. He's got two daughters. I don't know whether they're teenagers yet, but they're, two daughters, he's married. I've no idea when he sees his family because he never seems to sleep, never mind go home. He's always in a different country every bloody, every day you see him or every week you see him and he's flying all over the place. But Oscar's saying, it's long been rumoured in the boxing world that Eddie and Sky Nicholson are romantically linked. And then Oscar showed a little clip of them getting out of a limo, I think. Could be perfectly innocent. But Eddie, just because I'm paraphrasing, but he said, Eddie, because you're romantically linked, it doesn't mean that you should position Sky into a fight. He was trying to make some controversy out of this. Well, there is none. There is none at all because Eddie is Sky's promoter and he's perfectly entitled to, push her forward as a potential opponent for the biggest fight. She is, after all, a world champion. She's also been calling out Serrano for God knows how long. But Oscar's making this out to be there's some sort of, infidelity stroke, immoral, ethic or unethical promotional side. It's all rubbish. First of all, I don't know a damn thing about Eddie Hearn's private life, whether he is with Sky or not, or I don't know what the state of his marriage is. I've no idea. It doesn't really interest me, to be honest. But it does Oscar, because Oscar he's really turning the screw on Eddie Hearn. He smiles and he laughs when he says these things about Eddie, but he seems to really have it in for this guy. And again, I can't say I'm not amused by it. But to say that, to accuse a married man of having an affair with certainly with a fighter that he's promoting, and I know that people have always made fun of Eddie and Sky and said, oh, they're romantically linked, and her surname will soon be Hearn, and all this crap. but to actually come out and say it, and actually try to say that Eddie is being unethical as a promoter because he wants Sky to fight Serrano, and the only reason he's pushing Sky for that fight is because he's banging her. I mean, this seems to me to be really near the knuckle, In fact, I would say, I don't know. I mean, in America, they have First Amendment, so they're entitled to say anything, but there is such a thing as slander. And to sort of say things about a married man and accuse him of having affairs and so on and so forth. In fact, Oscar went as far as to say, you've been rumoured to have relationships with many different women, with several women, not just Sky. Amusingly, at one point in this Clapback Thursday video, Oscar said, maybe no one's taught you how to behave like a man because you're a trust fund kid. Well, Oscar, I'd calm down a bit there, mate, because, dressing up in women's clothing and then denying it, taking a bit of the old Colombian marching powder, to say nothing of all the alcohol, swimming in alcohol, going into rehab on many occasions, he openly admits it. That's perhaps not how a gentleman should behave. And if you're saying that, Eddie's not being ethical towards his wife by cheating on her with one of his fighters, and if you're saying that promotionally he's not being ethical by pushing Sky forward for a unification, an undisputed fight actually with Serrano, then I think you're going too far, mate, to be honest with you, as funny as it was to hear him say it. But I just wonder, I'm eager to see how Eddie responds to this. Frankly, if I was in his position, I wouldn't even acknowledge what he said about him and Sky. Because, I mean, for all I know, they could be having an affair. I don't know. But whether they are or they're not, if I was Eddie or Sky, I wouldn't be even commenting on that. I'd be like, let them all talk, Our lips are sealed. There's an old song, originally by the Go-Go's, co-written by Terry Hall and the Specials, called Our Lips Are Sealed. And it's about people chattering about the romance between two people and they just say nothing. I think, don't feed the troll. That's what I would say. But we'll see. Be interesting to see if Eddie does come back with this. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Let me know if you've got any opinions. Leave them below. Please, if you're new to this channel, you could subscribe. That would be fantastic. You'd help the channel out a great deal. We're trying to build it up, of course we are. And it's your channel as much as mine. Because if you don't watch, what's the point of me doing these videos? It's just like, I ain't got no desire to live in an echo chamber, trust me. And if you like the video, hit the like button as well, because they count them, so I'm told. Anyway, thank you very, very much for your time, as always. And, enjoy yourselves. Bye for now.